Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another impressions video. This time I will be going over another fuzzy friend. His name is Xin or Jin, depending on how you pronounce it. I mean, I'm not Chinese, but this hero seems to have a Chinese name, Xin. I don't know, Xin sounds cooler because you can just make it sound like Zing, and Zing, of course, is the best word ever. Well, I mean, not the best, but one of the best words, but Jin sounds more Chinese, so I'm not too sure how exactly you should pronounce this hero's name. Oh my god, I'm with the techies. Yay. I'm so happy right now. Can't you tell in my voice? I'm so happy we're playing with the techies. I love playing with this hero. Did I call it mid? I'm gonna call mid again. But yep, this hero has been in Dota for a reasonably long time duration. He was introduced in 6.73, so I think that's over maybe a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years, something like that. I mean, 6.73, god. 6.75 was last year. Yeah, so it was the last December when he was introduced. And I actually played Dota 1 for a little bit after that because I don't know if you followed my channel or anything like that, but I had a Mac for a large majority, and of course Dota 2 doesn't work on Mac, but I built a PC so I could do more Dota 2 stuff, and I built it in March. So until then, I still played Dota 1, and Xin, of course, was in the pool at that moment. As Gyrocopter, please go away. I would like to go mid, and he is gonna go away. I don't know if he's gonna go for some crazy roaming ganking Gyrocopter L1, who knows. But yeah, when this hero was released, he was ridiculously overpowered. I mean, he had a lot of mobility, he had a lot of lockdown. He's a very, very strong early to mid-game hero who does scale alright to the late game. But, I mean, in the early to mid-game, he was very, very difficult to touch since he's such a strong ganker. Since then, he's been nerfed several times. Searing Chain was nerfed. I think Flame Guard was nerfed as well. I don't know about Sleight of Fist. Maybe his ultimate was nerfed, who knows. But yep, he was nerfed several times. Just to go over some of his base stats, he is an agility hero. He has really, really terrible stat growth. I think his strength growth is 1.8, his intelligence growth is 2.0, and his agility growth is 2.0, his intelligence growth is 1.8 again, so base 5.6 stat growth, definitely below average. And you can see his base attack animation. Well, I will show you very soon, as there's nobody in my lane, so I'm not going to miss the last hit for once in my life. Man, it's hard, but I managed to do it, guys. I managed to actually get a last hit. But his base attack animation is pretty good. I'm not too sure his base attack time. I've got to imagine it's average, 1.7. Base armor, pretty low, so not the best mid hero to go, since he's melee and he has not the highest armor value in the world. Man, am I just going to lane by myself and miss last hits? I guess I am. Oh my god, I'm so bad at Dota 1. And there's a little bit of lag. But still, not really that good of excuse when I'm winning against literally nobody. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, he has overall mediocre stats in general. He has, I think, average attack damage. I might be mistaken, as Arrow is going to whiff. And here is Kitty Cat. So I'm just going to pick up Sleight of Fist. But now time to go over the skills. So his first spell is Searing Chains. And now what this ability does is, you can see in AoE around you, it binds people in place for 2 seconds. It only targets 2 enemies, and it's random. So I think at a 400 AoE around you, you will get the thing off. But yeah, they bind people in place. I think they can still cast abilities through binding. It just holds people in place. It doesn't do anything else. I don't know if you can blink out of it or not. I gotta imagine you can't. Man, this Mirana seems like she knows how to play the game, which is very unfortunate, but I'm just gonna pop some Flame Guard and do a bit of harassment. If she keeps hitting me, then whatever. But yeah, Searing Chains holds people in place. Now, this skill was nerfed several times. It used to hit 3 enemies at all levels, and I think it scaled like 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 2, 3, 3, 4, something like that. But now, the max duration of the stun is only 3 seconds, and you can only get that point once you hit level 3 of that level. So it goes 2, 2, 3, 3 in terms of stun duration, and it's 2 enemies at all levels, and of course it is random. So obviously you don't want to use this ability when there's too many creeps around you, because it just will not be nearly as effective as otherwise could potentially be. And you can see I'm very, very sad because I missed my Sleight of Fist because I'm bad. But I'll go over the rest of the spells. Now, you might think it's based off other entangling spells. To my knowledge, it is because it has a similar animation, but it's different from a lot of other entangling spells. For one, it doesn't hit magical immune units, which is, you know, pretty good for a very low cooldown spammable spell that doesn't really cost too much mana. And it doesn't hit invisible units. So, I mean, I guess it's balanced decently. But as you level it up, the cooldown decreases at every single level. The DPS of the burn does go up as well. It looks like I'm gonna be ganked. I should have probably Searing Chained him, but I panicked. It's alright in the end. I don't think I would have been able to kill him regardless, since I didn't have full mana. But yeah, Searing Chain, as you level it up, the cooldown will decrease, the DPS of the flames will increase, and something else. Of course, the stun duration will go from 2 to 3 once you hit the level 3 of this spell. Now, his second spell is what makes him pretty unique amongst other heroes. It gives him similar capabilities as Juggernaut Omnislash, which you will see very, very soon. Alright, so you can leap out of Searing Chains. Very useful to know. And please, move speed. 310 base move speed. Let's go. Yes! I am the best. I am the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep me. Man, that Pudge. Gonna call it Looney. It was an Asian hook. Anyways. Sleight of Fist, which you just saw me do, is a spell that hits in AoE like this. Now, when it hits creeps, it does 50% of Jin's base damage. So, obviously, it's not the best farming ability. But why am I maxing it? Because it does a lot of harassment to heroes, and the AoE increases as you level it up, and when you use it, you can use it to also dodge spells. And I think you're completely invulnerable. So you can dodge spells like Starfall, dodge spells like Leap. And I should have probably tried to secure the kill, but I was trying to explain other stuff as well. Oh my god, this hero is still very, very fun against heroes who don't really know what... against players who don't really know what they're doing. But yeah, so Sleight of Fist, as I'll keep going over, is very strong against heroes because you can dodge spells. It has a very low cooldown, 6 seconds at its max rank, as a very low mana cost of 50, and AoE and casting range is 700. The AoE is quite significant, as you just saw, but when I use it against creeps, pretty much without any sort of buffs, it pretty much does not do anything. I should share my courier. Let's see, how do I share my courier again? I'll just do this. But, yep, Sleight of Fist does reduce damage to creeps and does additional damage to heroes. So obviously you can use it when you're chasing, because it has good cast range, and it synergizes with his other abilities pretty well. And of course, if you're ganking, you should be using this spell as much as possible, which is why I'm going to be leveling up first, because I have yet to gank, but now that I'm in Boots online, I will start to do just that. I will go gank. So that's Sleight of Fist in a nutshell. His third ability is Flame Guard, which is potentially his most damaging ability, but also a unique ability. Now, I don't know if you guys played the super old Storm Spirit when, you know, he was first introduced. As I'm just gonna kill this healing ward. Fuck off. Okay. Should be able to get the kill. I got the kill. But yeah, sorry my skill explanation is going a bit slower than usual. I'm actually, you know, getting kills for once in my life. I'm having an impact on the game, guys. It's a new experience, but... but yeah, Flame Guard, what it does is that it soaks up a barrage of magical damage. And I'm gonna die, because I decided to stay around, and I ran out of mana. But anyway, Flame Guard, what it does is that it's similar to Storm Spirit's old magical ability, which means it soaks up magical damage as you level it up, and it does a lot of DPS around you in a 400 AoE. And the DPS is actually very significant, and the duration also increases, but keep in mind, as the magical shield is penetrated, once it's fully penetrated, the skill is done. And has a pretty long cooldown, but if you leave it unpenetrated, which I know is a very, very awkward word to use in regards to a skill, then it'll do more and more damage. You can see 40 damage to 12 seconds, and it increases as you go on. 20 seconds and 60 damage is ridiculous. That's 1200 damage, assuming of course you get every single tick to land, which obviously will not happen in every single engagement, but one can dream, I suppose. So when you use, I max this ability second. Some people, if they take Ember Spirit mid, might choose to max this ability first because it does soak up, it does do a lot of damage in the area around him, and of course you won't really have any other way to push out the waves, and it's not really the most expensive abilities to cast. Still, I mean, at level 1, the amount of damage it can soak up is only 50 damage, so even the lowest level of nukes will be able to drain through it very, very quickly and very, very easily. Now his fourth ability, which you may have seen me using, which is his ultimate, is called Fire Remnant. Now what this ability does is it sends little remnants, like Storm Spirit, out in different directions, of course, depending on the target you play. I think the casting range is maybe 2000. It's not the longest casting range ability ever, but it has a pretty solid cast range, and the Remnant travels at 2.5 your hero's base movement speed, as Techie's probably going to die because he doesn't have enough mimes here, but Mirana doesn't know that. But yep, you can use this ability to transport yourself around. Now this hero is similar to the Rock Spirit, Earth Spirit, in a couple of fashions. So it has charges, and you can see those charges are represented by these three little icons. And these charges regenerate every 35 seconds, and each remnant lasts around 45 seconds. So theoretically, you can have up to 4 charges on the map, but obviously you won't be doing that. Now what this ability does is that once you click your R ability, you can direct yourself towards remnants. Keep in mind, when you direct yourself to a remnant, all the remnants on the map get destroyed because he'll travel in a big circle and then he'll go to the remnant that you targeted. So it'll kill off all your remnants, but if you stack them up, they can do a lot of damage, and it does a little bit of burst in AoE. So there's a couple of nifty tricks you can do with this, a la Morphling Replicate. You can cast a remnant at your base or at the lane, and let's see how long the cast range is. Where'd he go? Well, he is too strong for me. And you can see I burned through 2 remnant charges very, very easily, and I could not get the chase on. But even though the remnant itself moves at not the highest move speed, I think it moves 2.5, yep, you can do that. But when you move to your remnant, you move at a very fast move speed. I'm not too sure what extent of the move speed it is, as I guess we'll find out in a second. I'm out of mana, gotta manually click, because bad. No, techies! Oh man, I'm sad. Now, this remnant, of course, I'm just gonna be using right now because I need to get mana, and I don't really want to bother to check the rune, and casting the remnant itself does not require using any mana. Now, moving to explode the remnant does cost mana, but you will see that very, very soon. So this hero, very mobile, does do a lot of early game damage. Obviously it is limited by a couple factors, one being that he runs out of mana very quickly, and as a result you won't always be able to do whatever you want. Of course, the plus side is he's very mobile. He can do a lot of early game damage and is very annoying for a lot of heroes to deal with in general, as he's a pretty useful hero. As I don't know if I can dive this. He's level 6. He has a gem for the techies, because techies means you will get an early gem, and there are 3 heroes, so I don't know if engaging into that, it will be the best of options. But yeah, in regards to laning and how you should be building him, he is an agility hero, but he does cast a lot of abilities, so you want to get as much mana as possible. And unlike the other agility hero I covered, who did I cover most recently? That was an agility caster, I can't even remember for the life of me. Oh yeah, Calton's strength hero has a pretty good intelligence code, but this guy has a really shitty intelligence code, so he needs a lot of mana to sustain his abilities. Assuming of course survive, and he's a pretty squishy dude. You can see he can't really sustain much physical punishment. Wow, this tower is super racist. God. tried to redirect the aggro a couple of times. Wasn't able to do that successfully. Sand King's a nice guy. He knows I have a bottle. And I will be taking that illusion rune. Can I dive this guy? He has observer wards. Wow, this is the first time in a long time I see Dota Cash people get observer wards. Shoutouts to Dota Cash. My stomping grounds for a long time. And I'm gonna try to engage upon this Luna. Now you can see my level of Flame Guard wasn't at a high enough level, and I had tunnel vision, so I failed to see the Pudge. But my level of Flame Guard isn't at a high enough level where it could absorb multiple lunar bounces, so that sucks. I misplayed that pretty hard. Whatever. But yeah, as you should build him, I think getting Arcane Boots is a good option. Orchid is probably a good option as well, because you need the mana. Outside of that, I don't think you need that much mana regeneration. You probably want to get some form of survivability. And if you want to get survivability and mana regeneration, then maybe rushing Linken's could perhaps be the best route to play this hero. Again, even though I have played this... Oh no. Yo, those mines, too good. Those next level mine games. Alright, so I'm just gonna get more points in the Flame Guard, since, 2 seconds of the Searing Chains is enough for the early stages of the game when you're ganking with your team. But I will getting Arcane Boots and probably getting an Orchid as well. So I'm gonna get my 4th level into Flame Guard. Pretty good. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all you need. Arcane Boots and perhaps an Orchid. If you go for Treads, maybe you should go for Linken's as well, so you can go into a later portion of the game. I think he is a very adaptable hero. You just need to find some ways to build him up where you will never run out of mana. If I conserve my mana properly, it could be that Treads and Bottle with Wand could potentially be enough, and then I can build into survivability. Considering I'm diving quite aggressively and I can't take that much physical harassment, it might be for the best if I did go that route, but this is just the build I'm most accustomed to doing. Oh wow, Gyrocopter Missile actually is tracking him, but he's invisible because he's Nerf, the Oracle. Let's see if I can catch up to him. Wow, he is too fast, too furious. And I'm just gonna chase this guy down, and you can see how much damage this Flame Guard is doing. Wow, so I guess Sleight of Hand can't hit. Oh yeah, Sleight of Hand can't hit invisible units. But he was visible because he got stunned by a missile because there was a Sentry Ward, and I got the last hit because I earned that. So, some other things about Fire Remnant. I actually had to test this in single player since I found it quite interesting. Alright, well, he's gonna kill the Mord. Nice guy. What a nice guy. What a gentleman. Some other things about Fire Remnant is that it gives you a slight amount of vision. You can see up stuff with it, look, see? Vision. Now, unlike Storm Spirit's Remnant, it does not give you flying vision. I have tested it out multiple times. I tested it out here, I tested it out at Rosh. It gives you normal vision, so you can't really scout out with it very effectively whatsoever. Another thing is that you can use neutral camps, but you can't block the neutral camps with it. So, of course, you can't do some, annoying stuff to really deny certain people a lot of experience or a lot of farm. And obviously, you probably won't be doing that since the maximum number of remnants you can have around is 4, and that's probably not feasible in a lot of circumstances unless you just spam them. Which you probably shouldn't spam them since you want to use 1 to get away and maybe 1 to initiate. If you see a giant team fight, you can drop as many remnants as possible, then just explode around all of them. Because look at this. I am going to cast all 3 remnants, and I'm going to target this one. See, it goes to all of them. So they will detonate all of them. And, that's kind of annoying in general. And as soon as I do that, a freaking team fight breaks out where I could actually use remnant to get myself into the fray. Unfortunately, I'm dumb as heck, and that is not going to be an option. But maybe I can get the last hit, which I fully earned once again. Oh my god, I'm the best. Anyways, yeah, you can just stack a bunch of remnants to do a lot of burst damage because it does 150 damage in AoE. I think the damage AoE is around 400, so it's pretty significant. I mean, it's around the radius of a Magnus ultimate, maybe a little bit more. I'm not too sure the specifics because I don't play Mag, but still, it's pretty significant to deal with. But what you should do with this guy is you should just go ganking with him as much as possible, and once you hit level 6. Now in order to do that, I think mid lane is a good option. The problem is that he doesn't have too much mid lane control whatsoever. But you still want to get the level, so maybe solo safe lane. I don't know how well you can off lane. I can't imagine you'll off lane that well with the nerfs to the magic shield, which could potentially make him off lane, but now really you can't off lane well with him at all. I'm the best again. So yeah, mid lane or safe lane carry might be a good way to go about it. I think mid lane is probably the best option, just because, I mean, he can make usage of these items, obviously, but I don't know how much he can carry the late game compared to other carries because a lot of his damage is magically based. And, I mean, yeah, sleight of hand is physically based, still, it's not really the best idea to just spam sleight of hand and hope to go in because you have pretty shitty agility growth like I mentioned previously, and you have not the best physical damage output outside of sleight of hand. And sleight of hand has 6-second cooldown, so obviously you can't use that too often. So I think mid lane is the best way to go, and if you do go mid lane, you have a choice between going Flame Shield or Sleight of Hand. You can use Sleight of Hand to harass, and hopefully you can just harass him out of lane by just sparing that ability. You can see in the middle lane, I mean, I shouldn't have been able to do as well, but I got off a lot of free farm, and I mean, I don't know if that guy necessarily knew how to play against Ember Spirit too often, so I was able to get, I think, 1 kill, so that's better than nothing, I suppose. Now, oops, well, I've already used 2 of my charges, which is annoying. I'm just gonna wait for another charge to come up. But yeah, mid lane I think is probably the best choice since, I mean, even if you don't get farm, you just need levels, and I mean, in the early game, all you will need are mana sustainability items, whether it be Clarity or Bottle. And even though he's probably not the best user of Bottle Crow, you can still Bottle Crow to stay himself lane, so mid is probably the best way to put him. But once you hit an appropriate level, whether it be level 6 or whatever, you can just go in. Wow. What happened? We got owned! That's what happened. Oh, Oracle is there. I was wondering what happened. Well, we just got owned. But, I don't know. I don't think Luna can outcarry a... Oh god. Luna might be able to outcarry all of us. Still, we can delay forever because they have a techies, even though the Oracle knows how to get gems, which is very, very annoying. I still think we can win this game. But you can see the damage output of this hero does drop off significantly. And wow, that was almost a win. Instead it turned into a pretty big fail.
Have one on the house. I'll put it on our allies' town needs help.
I earned that. All me. And now I got the 3-second stun, so that's pretty useful. Level 13 is pretty useful as well. But yeah, once you hit that crucial level, you can just go around, gank, do whatever you want. You can even take to the neutrals and farm up pretty effectively with the Flame Guard, but if you do that, you have to get a Stout Shield, because again, Flame Guard only blocks magical damage, and even though the damage output of Flame Guard is absolutely phenomenal, It's just
Have one on the house.
this guy has a very squishy HP, so he won't really be able to sustain himself very adequately if you only rely on Flame Guard.
Trouble brewing. Have one on the house.
So yeah, I mean, he's a very strong ganker. He's a ton of fun to play. I mean, like, I barely know what I'm doing with this guy anymore, but I'm still having a decent time of it. Sand King left. That's unfortunate. I should probably try to get some dust, because I'm ganking. Can't be arsed.
Name your poison.
And of course, Searing Chains does not hit invisible units, so he won't be able to be targeted regardless. Oh well, what can you do?
Have one on the house. Name your
Now, some higher level things you can do with this hero is, like I mentioned previously, you can use the sleight of hand to dodge a lot of attacks because you are invulnerable when you're doing that. Now, just something else to note in regard to the Fire Remnant is that the Fire Remnant moves forward at 2.5 times your base movement speed, which is, you know, this little cast. That thing goes at 2.5 times the base movement speed. When you move to the Fire Remnant, I'm not too sure the base movement speed of that, but it's pretty fucking fast. But keep in mind, it is movement speed based, so I'm pretty sure Rupture will work through it. Now, I haven't been able to test this, but when you're moving through Fire Remnant, I've got to assume you're going to be magically immune. Because if it functions similar to Storm Thing, then you're magically immune and you're invulnerable to doing anything. If you're not, then I don't honestly know. Looks like all of our Flame Shield dissipated. And we got owned. I think we're probably gonna lose. Whatever. Oh my god, the techies, you just... Oh, you dropped during a regeneration to pick up a gem. I thought he was gonna do the old techies trick where you drop an item and then just, you know, plant some stuff on the ground or something like that. But you can see my effectiveness is really starting to fall off. So I don't know if I'm building him right. I mean, like, I'm obviously not farming well. I have 40 CS in 24 minutes, which is pretty ass. But I've got to imagine in a team fight what you want to do is you want to be the backup initiator. You don't want to be the primary initiator because you're way too squishy. And I mean, since the Searing Chains is very sort of random on who it targets, you might not be able to get the most effectiveness out of it. And if you just go in at their Flame Shield, then your Flame Shield will get drained out instantly and you'll get completely dominated. So I think you should probably be the second one in for a team fight on your team, so that Flame Shield can still do a lot of AoE damage, and I mean, the targets might have been cleared out to a sufficient degree that you can actually utilize the Searing Chains and actually not have it be random. So I think that's his role in team fights. In terms of ganking, obviously you just go in, gank with your teammates, tell your teammates to eliminate the creeps so that Searing Chains actually hits the targets you are intending to gank, and just go to work. I mean, you should be constantly moving throughout the early stages of mid game because, like, once you get that point, I mean, it sort of functions similar to a Pudge because once you serve past a certain point, you just really don't have a good time. And yeah, the bonus damage and the short cooldown of Sleight of Hand or Sleight of Fist makes it really annoying to deal with. But his physical damage output, unless you build him that way, is just really poor, and Sleight of Fist just simply won't do enough. As there was a dark green hero here. I just want to see where it's gonna fall. Wow, I was random. It exploded, but well, that sucks. I forgot that Fortune's End or whatever it's called. It was like next to nothing. Cooldown. It's 20 seconds. Nerf the Oracle is pretty good. This guy's playing a lot better than I did in my first impressions thingy. But I have a magic shield. Look, I took not much damage. I still want to get the heck out of there. But yeah, this guy pretty mobile, pretty good at escaping, pretty good at surviving.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
What's up, Clock? How you doing, bro?
Have one on the house.
And you can see once you reach a certain point, you really don't need much regen gen at all. So at that point, I think items like Hex are a good option. Items like Shiv's Guard. Maybe even go for some damage. Oh yeah, something else I forgot to mention about Sleight of Fist is that the AoE it hits, I mean, it's immense, but every Sleight of Fist damage hit has its own modifiers. So that means if you have a critical hit, every hit has a chance to do a critical strike or a Mjolnir strike or whatever. I mean, it's pretty powerful if you look at it that way. And I'm gonna eat Lucent Beams for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Techies, what a useful hero. Looks like team is starting to rage quit, which is a bit annoying. What can you do? But yeah, if you do go DPS, you should probably definitely max Sleight of Fist because you will be able to get a lot more critical things and take his items, dad, or sell. Is this guy his father? Dang. Oh, Dad and Me. That's his name. I mean, he's a clock. What can he do with items? Not so much. I mean, I'll just build up towards a rapier. I mean, why the heck not? You know what we need? We need to not have a techies on our team. Oh god, I just hate playing with or against techies in general. Can't we just import Pitlord as our compendium choice if we reach that point? Just Pitlord. I love that fat bastard.
Another round? I'll give it a shot. Is trouble brewing? I'll put it
3v4 with the techies.
You seem a little odd.
So, I don't know if things are looking good for our heroes or not.
On your tab.
I'm just gonna farm up, try to get myself some DPS items.
Round? Have one on the house.
Maybe I'll just rage quit.
Lad, I'll give it a shot.
I mean, I think they still have a gem.
You seem a little odd.
I know this probably could have been avoided if I just picked up some earlier dust. Oh well. Live and learn.
Another round? Have one
My thought process when I'm narrating game is a lot less good.
you see.
As is apparently my grammar.
Name your poison.
But, I mean, this hero is tons of fun. I don't know if he's necessarily overpowered. I think I can safely say there are a lot of other better safe lane farmers. This guy is not functional as support whatsoever, since he doesn't have any range on his chains, and he doesn't have a ranged hero. I don't think this guy could potentially offlane. Who knows? Pfft, heck if I know. And I think safe lane farming can find a bunch of other choices, so I've got to think that his only role is mid and Bottle Crow and just start ganking. But if you don't get the ganks off, similar to a Night Stalker or Bounty Hunter, you're just gonna fall off the map completely. So I think the nerfs really did a number to him, but if you have a ganking oriented team that helps you out, you will be able to do a lot.
Our allies' town needs help.
As there's gonna be a fight. Oh yeah, I don't have... Well, we lose. I didn't have Flame Guard up, which kind of sucks. Oh well, what can you do? So I think the nerfs really just hurt him a lot more, but I think the nerfs were well deserved. He was really strong, because 3 random targets in chains instead of 2 was really powerful. And I think Flame Guard started off at maybe 100 magic or 150 magic reduction instead of 50, so you could just spam that and just do a lot of damage that way. Still, I mean, he has some roles. I think he can probably be paired pretty well with the Nyx or Bounty and just get a lot of track kills and try to get the steamroll going. In terms of breaking the base, I've got to imagine he's a bit better than some. He's strong at turtling as well, since he can use Sleight of Fist, just harass people relentlessly. And you can use Static Remnants to just, you know, put 2 things here and 1 here, and then you just target this one, and then you'll go all the way in. All me again. I really don't want a turtle. I'm just gonna just keep going in. Male Farmer Rapier.
How are you doing? Make your choice. Oh, it's you. Another round.
Orange's Dagger. I think I'm just gonna take that and sell it.
On the house.
I mean, we really don't have any shot in this game.
Name your poison.
So I might end this recording relatively soon after one more failed team fight. But I'm gonna just go for a Demon Edge, go for Rapier. Fuck this Orchid build. It's not doing anything, because I always forget to buy the Orchid.
Is trouble brewing? Name your poison. Have one on the house. Another round.
But yeah, hopefully you found this video informative. I mean, you can just keep watching for me to keep failing with this hero in general.
Have one on the house.
I think I played this hero alright in the early stages of the game, but I probably made 1 too many mistakes. The only thing about this hero is if you don't have Flame Guard, you're so squishy. It's just ridiculous. So I think that's his biggest problem as a hero. Demon Edge looks like a weird thing. It's not even an edge, it doesn't have edges. It's just a thing.
I'll put it on your tab. Have one on the house. I'll give it a shot. Another round.
Let's go.
Trouble brewing.
Sleight of Fist.
Oh, that
Burn. Burn, bitch. Yeah, son. Alright, I'm just gonna charge mid. Like, I honestly don't really care anymore.
on the house.
I kinda want this game to be over.
I'll give it a shot. Another round. Is trouble brewing?
Searing Chains. Blood and ability.
Have one on the house. Oh, that. Another round. You see a little arch. I'll put it on your back. Another round.
Woo!
Name
But
your
man,
poison.
he can escape with the
Have
best of
one
them.
on the house.
3v3
I'll
with
put it
mines.
on your tab.
I am looking forward to playing this game some more.
Name your poison.
Whatever, next time is gonna be Rapier.
On the house.
Hopefully. Maybe you guys will stick around till then.
Trouble brewing.
Who knows?
You see a little arch. Trouble brewing.
Wait, does Techies have the gem?
Another round. Name your poison. Oh,
This
that.
guy is kind of annoying.
Have one on the house. Oh, that. Have one on the house. Another round.
Strong.
Now, you're.
Strong initiation. But yeah, I don't know honestly what you should do with this hero in the late game. You should win the game in the early stages of the game.
Have one on the house.
I think about it, he's not really that strong anymore.
Have one on the house. You see the little arch. Oh, that. Have one on the house.
What can you do?
Name your poison. Another round. Brewing. Oh, that. Have one
Gonna find
on the
Nerf and own his soul.
arch. I'll give it a shot.
There he is.
Name your poison.
But instead we're making our way to try to gank Luna.
Name your poison.
Oh my god, this game.
Arch. Have one on the house.
Dodo Cash, everybody.
I'll
Give it a round of
shot.
applause.
I'll put it on your tab. Another round is trouble brewing. Have one on the house. You see, arch. Another round. You see the little arch. I'll give it a shot. Have one on the house. Another round.
I mean, this guy, he's trying his best.
Shot. I'll put it
It's just annoying. God, this hero's a waste of time.
prepare
Fucking techies.
crash. You see the little arch.
Alright, I'm just gonna sell my Oblivion Staffs and sell my wand and bottle. I'm gonna get a rapier.
You seem a little harsh. Is trouble brewing?
I mean, if this is a Dota 2 game, I wouldn't be throwing out this, but again, if this is a Dota 2 game, it wouldn't be 3v3 in the first place.
Have one on the house. I'll put it on your will. Have one on the house.
I don't think even if I sell both of these, I'll be anywhere close to picking up a rapier.
Have one on the house.
Can I disassemble? I need the courage to disassemble.
Harsh.
I'm just gonna sell both Oblivion Staffs. I still don't have enough for a rapier. I'm gonna sell my bottle. Let's get a rapier.
Name your poison.
Alright, let's go.
See, have one on the house.
I'm sorry if this is anticlimactic, but I really don't care about this game anymore. After I enter a certain point of the game, I mean, like, I don't know. What more can I say?
Give it a shot. I'll put it on your path.
You with rapier, I can't one-shot creeps with sleight of hand, or even come anywhere close to that. But I mean, it has good range, so you can spam it.
Name your poison. Have one on the house. You seem a little harsh. I'll give it a shot. Is trouble brewing?
Let's see, how do you unlock?
Proceed. You seem a little harsh. Where to? Is trouble brewing? Have one on the house. I'll
I mean,
give it
Luna has a Lothars and a Shadow Blade, or a Lothars and a BKB.
another round.
Kind of annoying to deal with.
A little harsh.
Let's see.
Oh, it's you.
Oops, minimize.
Is trouble brewing? Another round? Okay to go. You seem a little harsh.
Yep.
Another round?
Techies.
I'll put it on your path. Oh, how you doing? Will do, command. Name your poison. I'll put it on your path. Is trouble brewing? Roger, will go. You seem a little harsh.
Is this what you want, guys? Do you really want techies?
Have one on the house. Is trouble brewing? Name your poison. I'll put it on
Well, that's damn. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace. I think you'll close it and Dumbass Purple lost us the rapier, which lost us the game. I think it's a fitting end. Thanks, guys.